as the first, it's my pleasure to welcome you in this sitting as my first, as a first, or as it is the first time to lead the branch. I want to welcome you all, and I hope that your presence in this meeting will produce remarkable results. And on that note, I wish to welcome you all. Please feel free to participate in all the activities as you are given a chance by the program director. And secondly, I want to give thanks to my predecessor, Keho. I've noted that she's part of this meeting. I want to thank her for actually steering the ship even in the stormy season, but she kept on sailing. And then I want to thank you, Keho, and all your efforts in making this branch to be the branch of choice within the LIASA community. I want to thank you for all your contributions and for all the role that you played. Thank you very much. Furthermore, we've got Apelele from National Office. You are acknowledged, Apelele. Thirdly, colleagues, before we start with the meeting, I think all of us, we were there when the president was invited to speak about restructuring. And one of the things that he said is that the branch can still exist, but then in which case there are people or there's a person who wants, who wishes not to be a part of the BEC during this interim phase, that person is allowed. So I just want to introduce the BEC that will take LIASA Free State branch to its completion or towards the establishment of the board. But before that, let me officially brief you about 3 resignations. 3 members resigned from Free State branch because they were afforded that opportunity. The first one is Nambita Mangola. She was the PRO. Then the second one is Cornel Skeltama van Wyk. I'm sorry to have spelled this name incorrectly, but let me use the first name. Cornel has also resigned. She was an additional member. And then the third person to resign from the BEC is Sihle Blose. He was an additional member as well. So it's only these 3 people that are not part of the BEC. And then it's my pleasure to introduce my BEC to you. I like when I call your name, maybe you can unmute your camera so that we catch a glimpse of that beautiful face. It's myself as the chairperson, and then Erna as the secretary. Erna, can you unmute your camera so that they see you? If possible. Okay. Erna, she will come back. And then we also have the treasurer, Hesma van Tonner.
Sorry, I seem I have connection problems here. Every once in a while I'm off, so I'll quickly unmute or open my video.
Okay, can you open your... Yes, can you open your video, Erna?
It doesn't want.
Erna is the engine of the branch.
We're trying. Otherwise, I'm going to log off, I think, and start over again because something is wrong with my connection.
Okay,
just give me time, please.
Okay, no problem.
You can go on in the meantime. I hope I will be able to get back.
Yes. Then the third person is the treasurer, Hesma van Tonner. Can you unmute your camera, Hesma? Okay, she's not here. She's not yet here. Then we've got the membership secretary, Zuki Maya. Mamfundisi, can you unmute your camera?
I'm not sure. I have switched on. Yes. Good afternoon, colleagues. The chair didn't warn us about the showing of faces. God, yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Zuki. And then we also have additional member, Tate Emmanuel Zungu. Tate Emmanuel Zungu, can you unmute your camera? Okay, thank you very much. Then we have the interest group chairs. That is for Helik Khadi Mushotwa. Khadi, can you unmute yourself? Video. Okay, she's not yet here. Then we have a Lislik chair, Elma van der Merwe. Elma, can you unmute yourself? She's not here. Then the chair for PECLIC is Ditlare Mabitle. Can you unmute your camera, Ditlare? She's not yet here. Okay. Thank you very much, colleagues. On that note, let me share the agenda because Erna is not yet available. Maybe I can share it. Just give me a minute, colleagues. Can you see the screen?
Yes, Chair.
Yes,
Okay.
we can see.
Thank you very much. We are now on item number 2, attendance and apologies. Maybe we need to wait for Erna here because it's her portfolio. Yeah. Can we wait for a few minutes, colleagues, to allow Erna to come back again? Thank you.
Mr. Chair, maybe we can just ask if other people have apologies
Okay.
from
Thank you
elsewhere.
very much. Yes. Colleagues, if anybody has an apology for anybody, you can just say it. I will note it here for Erna.
I do have an apology from Charlie. He has another engagement. It just left.
Okay.
it.
Thank you very much. Anyone else, if you have an apology for anybody, you can just pounce in and just say it. If not,
Apology for Esther Betsy. She's also out of town.
okay. Apology for Betsy. Thank you, Zuki. Do we have any other? Erna, are you back? Okay, colleagues, let's give Erna the benefit of doubt because perhaps she has some apologies. And also on item number 3, she must assist us as well. I'm sorry for this inconvenience. Zuki, please notify me if Erna is back, is back in the group.
Not yet, Chair.
Okay, thank you.
Chair, maybe for the sake of time, we can continue and then get back to the items.
Okay. All right, colleagues, let's come to
She
item
just
number.
joined. Sorry,
Sorry.
she just
Oh, she's
joined.
back.
Okay, she's back. Erna, welcome. Erna. Can you hear me, colleagues? Maybe it's me who has a problem. Can you hear me?
Yes, that Moses.
Okay. Erna, okay. Let's proceed, colleagues. Let's come to item number 3, personalia. Is there any member who has some noteworthy report that we need to be aware of? I've got this one about Dina. I don't know, it's Dina or Dinah Mashia, who left the province. She's now in the Northwest province. Dina Mashia, and then anybody with any personalia. Okay. Right. Let's come to item number 4. Setting the agenda. Is there any other item, colleagues, that we can add to the agenda or to the matters of the day? If you have anything, you can just flag it. Okay. There is nothing, thank you. And then let's come to the minutes of the 12th of July. I will share the minutes as well, just a minute. I'm sure, colleagues, you had the privilege to receive them before today's meeting and you went through them. We will go page by page, and then if there is anything, you can just advise me. Anything on page 1? This is page 1. Am I no, sorry. I'm sharing the wrong thing. The minutes. Here are the minutes. Yes. The minutes of the 12th of July. Anything on page 1? Anything on page 2? Anything on page 3? Anything on page 4? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can I have somebody who will move for adoption and the seconder of the minutes?
I move the tutorial Zoom.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Zungu. And then adopter. Colleagues, are you still with me?
Sukimaya seconded.
I'm sorry, the seconder.
Zetmaya. Yes.
Okay, thank you. I said the adopter instead of saying the seconder. Thank you very much, colleagues. Let's come back to the agenda. Zuki, do you mind to share the agenda for me, please? If Erna is not yet here.
I am here. I'm still very unstable on this side, but I'll try to share.
Okay. Are you struggling? I can try. We don't see the screen yet, Erna.
Do you see it now?
Not yet.
Because it says here from my side, it is shared now.
Colleagues,
Can you see again?
Okay.
It's now visible, Erna.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I said on my screen, it is sharing.
Okay, yeah, we can see it now. Thank you very much. Before Erna, we come to item 5.2 because we are done with 5.1. Is there any apology and any personalia from you? I've noted Diana Mashia departing from FS to Northwest. Do you have any other thing under personalia? And please inform us about apologies that you received.
Okay, I don't have anything on a personalia except those that you've mentioned, and I didn't receive any apologies.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, colleagues, let's come to item number 5.2. The matter about restructuring. Can you share the minutes under restructuring? Or maybe, yes, if you don't mind. Erna?
I'll try.
And then there's a message in the chat box from Ditlare. She says there seems to be a problem with connection. You are cutting a lot. Are you also experiencing that challenge from my side, colleagues? That I'm cutting?
Yes, I did, and then I didn't know if it's you or me, and then suddenly when my screen was freezing, I thought it was from my side. So somewhere along, the people don't want to let us meet today.
Okay.
I'm trying to share the screen.
Not from my side, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's from their side. I can hear you very clear.
Yeah, maybe a challenge is on her side. Thank you. Colleagues, are you sharing that item 6.2 on the agenda? I just want to read it so that we can go back to it. But as we are waiting for...
Yeah, it is. According to my screen, it is sharing now.
Okay, it's not yet appearing because it's still the agenda.
On my screen, it says it is sharing. I must stop sharing, and I can't stop because it's already sharing.
Can you see it on the other laptops or desktops, except this one of myself and...
It's only the agenda.
Okay, let me stop again and try.
Yes. That's right. Thank you. It's appearing now. The chairperson reported that the process is still ongoing. ESCO has endorsed it and they were resulting with different stakeholders. They would arrange a special general meeting with members to inform and discuss the matter. Yes, I think I will provide some feedback regarding restructuring and the REPCO meeting. So this issue of restructuring is an ongoing issue, and to the best of my knowledge, restructuring must end by the end of May next year, after which the new board will come into effect. So when I give my feedback, there are things that I will say which are related to restructuring. Thank you very much, Erna. Let's go back to the agenda. Can you share the agenda? It appeared and it disappeared. Yes, thank you, Erna. It's appearing. Let's come to item number 6, colleagues, and then I will give feedback. I will join 6.1 and 6.2 together. Number 1, those of you who attended the AGM on the 12th of October, they have heard that the REPCO passed a motion to the AGM that a portion of the AGM should be adjourned until the 28th of February. And the AGM agreed to that. So the part of the agenda that was adjourned is constitutional changes and the elections. So there will be some invite to all members of LIASA in order to exhaust the agenda item that were adjourned on the 12th of October. And that should happen not later than the 28th or on the 28th of February, 2024. Then the second thing that I want to report about is that REPCO recommended that there should not be increase in the membership in 2024. And then the new increase will be effected after the 31st of May, 2024. And it was agreed that 5% membership fee increase will be effected after the 31st, which means from the 1st of June. So colleagues, I want to implore you to register before the 31st of May, 2024, so that you may not be affected by the 5% increase. Then the 2023 fee for individuals is 720, and then after the 1st of June, 2024, it will be 755. And then for students, it's 310 before 31st of May. After 31st of May, it will be 325. Then the institutional, let me see. The institutional will be, it's 3,425, if I'm not mistaken. Before and after the 1st of June, it will be 3,600. So colleagues, I just want to encourage you to register. And I'm tempted to believe that three months payment cycle, it is still open, if I'm not mistaken. So please register. And then the third thing that I want to report about is the interim council that is running LIASA affairs from after the AGM until the 31st of May. Then this interim council is constituted by 5 ESCO members and all incoming branch and interest group chairs. They form an interim council, and the interim council term will end after the board has been elected, which will be before the 31st of May. Then we will receive further communication to that effect. Then the fourth thing that I want to report about is that the interim council will prepare for a special general meeting by no later than the 28th May 2020 or 2024. And the interim council will manage the election process for the new governance structure. Then the fifth thing that I want to report about is about the South African Library Week. It will be held it will be celebrated between the 18th and the 24th of March, 2024. And the theme is Libraries Foster Social Cohesion. Libraries foster social cohesion. And the last thing that I want to report about is the LIASA 2024 annual conference. It will be held in Durban. These are the things that I want to report about. And then colleagues, on the issue of restructuring, I think there's a memo or there will be some communications directly from the national office or from the EXCO to that effect. So I don't want to cause confusion when it comes to specific issues that deal with restructuring. Thank you very much. Is there any clarity seeking or anything regarding what I've said? Or any additions? My predecessor, did I note everything well, or is there anything that you can assist me with?
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to, unless there were changes which I don't know about, but I know about Durban, it was kept on hold because it's something that they are still discussing, and a final announcement will come out with regard to the place of the conference. And then I just want to talk about maybe, I don't know if Zuki want to speak about it, the installments. I think there was a question about people paying their installments for the membership, that it has to be 3 consecutive months. You can't pay this month and jump and pay, and then you said you paid 3 months to complete your membership payment. It's still applicable, but it needs to be 3 consecutive months that you pay until you finish. Yeah, that's what I wanted to clarify.
Thank you very much, my chair. Colleagues, we are now proceeding. I think we have exhausted item 6.1, and then we are coming to item 6.2. I'm giving over to Zuki, the membership secretary, to report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My job has been made very easy by the previous speakers, so they touched everything about the membership. For me is to just inform that there are no major changes from our previous. We are 93. We still have 4 institutional membership. So it's just to also put emphasis from what they have said, my chairs. my both chair people. And then there was a question on the chat box. Yes, we have responded. It was asking about the pensioners, all students, unemployed pensioners. They are paying 310. I'm sure it's more than 50% discount. That's all. And that the chair, I don't want to waste more time. Everything has been covered.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, yes, thank you, Chair.
The pensioners before the 5% increase is 310. And
Yes,
after the 5% is effected, it will be 325. Yes, thank you very much. Please ensure that our pensioners, you renew your membership as soon as possible. Thank you very much. And now we come to item 6.3. Erna, can you guide us on this? Item 6.3, planning for 2024. Okay. Erna is not here. But colleagues,
it seems as if we have lost her again.
Yeah. Let me just inform to the branch that we have planned to have two
Sorry,
meetings.
I'm back.
Oh, okay.
I apologize for that. My computer is on a slow motion. I don't know whatever. Okay, what we planned just before this meeting, you must please indicate if I'm breaking up because I really don't know what's going on here. We had just had the meeting and nothing was wrong, and now suddenly it doesn't want to respond if I do something. Okay, I'm taking it from month by month. We decided at the BEC meeting now just to plan for the first part of the new year, since it's an interim BEC, so we don't know what's going to happen further on. So what we have planned is on the 22nd of February, Leslie planned a meeting and a virtual visit to the Parliament Library in Cape Town. It will be online via Zoom. Then for our celebrations of National Library Week, we as a branch planned a meeting on the 19th of March, and that will also be a hybrid meeting. We will confirm the speaker and the theme at a later stage, but we have earmarked the date of the 19th of March at this stage. And PACLIC is also planning something in March. It's a discussion roundtable, but they will also give more information at a later stage. It will be something in the of the idea of the digital environment and how librarians can use it. Then on the 18th of April, Leslie is planning a visit to the UFS library on a makerspace. More information will also be later available. If I remember now correctly, then we have the branch meeting. Yes, the branch meeting, we are celebrating, we are going to celebrate World Library Day. World Book Day. But the details of that meeting, we will also communicate at a later stage. We are planning to have it on the 23rd of April on World Book Day, but we will also give more information later on. We plan to have a librarian that had written a book, Ms. Trudy Venter. Some of you will know her, but we will confirm that and also the place and more detail, but it will also be a hybrid meeting. So those of you that are out of Bloemfontein will be able to attend. I think I've covered now everything that we've discussed. Yelik hasn't got anything on dates confirmed yet. They will also confirm their dates, but they also have a planned activity for next year in March.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much for that information. Colleagues, I think we have come to the end of the meeting. Now we move on to item number 7. And then I want to hand over to Honorable Membership Secretary to introduce the guest. Thank you.
Once again, good afternoon, colleagues. We would also like to note and appreciate members of LIASA that are coming from other branches that have decided to join us today, believing that they are coming for our item number 7, but we are happy that they stayed with us from item number 1. Today, colleagues, we would like to appreciate and showcase the research output of our colleagues. As a Free State branch, we took a decision that each and every year, let's appreciate and engage with those colleagues that took time and conduct research on the matters that are concerning our profession. Even before I introduce them, I would like to urge our members for the robust engagement with our academia colleagues. It has been noted that we, as the professionals of this sector, we don't have that robust scholarship engagement. I'm hearing some music, colleagues. Yes, it's now quiet. We do not have that robust engagement on scholarly arena. So hence now we are also want to introduce and encourage ourselves in that regard. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce Mashia Shokani, who is an electronic resource management librarian, ERM librarian at the University of Free State. She holds master's degree in information studies from University of Limpopo. She published an article out of her master's dissertation. Can we mute, colleagues? Yes. Her research interests include information and knowledge management, IKM, information access, information use, information behavior, information seeking, and artificial intelligence. Can we give Marcia a round of applause? Thank you, colleagues. At the same time, our second speaker is Xolelwa Xogile, who is serving as senior assistant, I believe librarian within a University of Free State. Currently, she is pursuing Bachelor of Arts in Information Science from University of South Africa. Xolelwa is from Stakespruit in Eastern Cape. In recognition of her contribution to the library community, she served as the Ambassador of the Year Award. She received the Ambassador of the Year Award from UFS Library in 2019. Having previously worked as a radio presenter, she now lends her voice to the creation of audio and video material for library marketing, as well as advocating for reading among primary school students. Xolelwa played an active role in the LIASA Free State branch, where she helped establish reading clubs in several schools within Mangaung. Xolelwa is a mother of 3 who cares for 2 plants named Eden and Hope, in addition to a Jack Russell Terrier named Candy Jack. Can we give the mother of Eden and Hope a round of applause? Colleagues, I will now hand over to you as it was scheduled. We welcome you and thank you for taking time to share your endeavors with us. Over to you, colleagues. You know which one will start and which one will be the last presentation, and then the chairperson will take over. Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you very much. Maybe if our guests can unmute their cameras, if possible.
Good afternoon, colleagues. Thank you, Chair, for the warm introduction. My name is Maisha Shokane, and I would like to share my presentation. Let me switch off the camera. I believe everyone has seen me. Thank you. Can you all see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you. This paper has been co-authored by Mr. Mathaga Molepo, and the article has been submitted to Musayon, South African Journal of Information Studies, for a peer review and for publishing. So I'll be presenting about the awareness and usage of educational video streaming databases by lecturers at University of the Free State. I would like us to take this moment to appreciate the power of knowledge, just like there is a saying that knowledge is power. However, colleagues, did you know that it is also a great source to great conversations? So my presentation outline will address the introduction and background, the problem statement, and explain the identified objectives, highlight the theoretical framework and literature review, as well as the research methodology, and we will discuss the findings and provide recommendations at the end of the presentation, as well as the references that were consulted. Colleagues, acquisition of information resources remains a crucial role in the libraries because it is our mandate to support the research and to fulfill the information needs of our users. Traditionally, resources were typically in a physical format, and as the industry is changing, we are adapting to the digital content. It is whereby we have identified the subscription of ebooks, e-journals, and others. So the educational video streaming has been identified as the new technology in today's teaching and learning. So what fostered us to write this paper is that even though the publishers are offering educational videos to academic libraries, we have seen that the librarians, we have shown a positive adoption of this educational video collection as we have started to subscribe to some of them. So the lecturers used to rely on the text-based materials for teaching and learning, and there was a little scholarly publications that exist on the awareness and use of these educational video streaming databases in South African universities. So colleagues, this made it relevant for us to conduct a study on the awareness of use of educational video databases by the lecturers at University of the Free State. So we have identified 5 objectives. We wanted to understand the perception of UFS lecturers towards the library subscribed to videos. We wanted to also identify the level of ease when using these videos. We also wanted to identify the attitudes of lecturers towards the educational video streaming databases and to understand their behavioral use. So we also wanted to make a recommendation for the actual usage of the educational video streaming databases. So we have identified the popular model, theoretical model by Davis, 1989, the technology acceptance model. And we have consulted all these external variables because we believe that the module is really helpful to understand and predict when users intend to use and accept these information systems and technologies. So the literature review that we have collected, it was we wanted to find out what other authors have already written about pertaining to educational video streaming databases. And we had themes when we were collecting this literature review, and under the perception of instructors towards multimedia, we found that there is a general perception amongst the instructors in that videos help to explain the complex concepts because of multiple dimensions provided by the audio-visual media. And then we also, under the challenges that prevent ease of use, we found that instructors who use these educational video streaming databases, they do find it difficult to search and navigate the user interface. So under the theme of factors influencing the attitude towards the use of video streaming, we found that according to Grompli 2020, he notes that there are two benefits of educational video streaming, which is the efficient use of class time and flexibility in terms of unlimited on and off campus users. So under the behavioral intention to use the educational video streaming databases, the other authors posted that students are unlikely to use the video streaming platform if the faculties do not make the recommendations. So the research has taken the angle of positivist paradigm to explain the awareness and usage of educational video streaming databases by the lecturers, and we were limited to the 7 faculties, excluding the UFS Business School, and then we have adopted the quantitative research approach, and we also used the descriptive survey research to understand the characteristics of the UFS lecturers as a population. And the lecturers, like I mentioned, they were chosen from the 7 faculties: Faculty of Economics and Management Science, Education, Health Sciences, Law, Natural and Agricultural Science, Humanities, as well as Theology, Religion. So the study also has adopted the probability sample design before the data was collected, and we have used the electronic questionnaire to collect our data. Due to the population of lecturers being a huge, we have adopted the stratified sampling method, whereby we distributed the questionnaire to 80, and then only 49 has responded. And then we used the Leap Wizard for a product from SpringShare to populate the electronic questionnaire. And we are really aware of the ethical considerations which must be aligned with the UFS ethics policy. And we have applied for the ethical clearance, which was approved, and you can see the ethical clearance number. And then it is always important to ensure that validity and reliability, they are adhered to. So we have the questionnaire was piloted amongst the lecturers before the actual data has been collected. So I will just provide a summary of the findings, and then we have found that there is a general lack of awareness of the library subscriptions to the educational video streamings, and the few lecturers describe their ease of using the platform as fairly usable. So the UFS lecturers also identified a lack of training as a major challenge that prevents the ease of use of this platform. And however, they still show that they still posit a positive attitude towards this use of multimedia formats in teaching, learning, and research. So the UFS lecturers also found that these videos can be a beneficial tool to use for off-campus access, in-class access, and unlimited user access, which allows lecturers to use class time efficiently. And the last one, we found that the lecturers do not use the learning management system to make available educational video streaming to this databases. So the article recommends that the streaming of recommends that UFS lecturers use an educational video streaming databases in their instruction and link the educational video streaming databases to the learning management systems to improve the usage of these educational streaming databases by the students. So we also recommend for further research that it should be conducted on the availability of educational video streaming databases in different fields of study in universities. And the motivation for this recommendation is that there was a low response from the faculties at UFS. This may be influenced by the assumption that there are no educational streaming databases in their fields. So these are the references consulted, not only them, but just to give a snip of references. And I would like to thank you. I'll take questions if there are any. Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you. I want to suggest that maybe we deal with the questions after the second speaker have addressed us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Second speaker, the floor is yours. Can we see your face, and after which you can mute your face
Okay.
again?
Thank you very much, Chair. I would like to send an apology. I'm currently using a desktop because my laptop is with ICT at the moment. So I just want to apologize for that. Otherwise, thank you very much for the invitation. I take it as really a big privilege for me to come and share. I believe Apelele is going to be sharing my presentation. So while he is doing that, I saw on the attendees that one of my favorite lecturers is here today, and I just want to honor him. That is if it's him. So, Mr. Litoro, I just want to say I honor you, sir. And so this is the presentation. So I wanted to, we had a symposium at the University of Free State's Library and Information Services, and the theme was the knowledge within. So I just wanted to get the experiences of undergraduate students that are working at the UFS LIS. So we can move to the next slide. So the study is focusing on studying while working. So as I said, this is the experiences of UFS LIS undergraduate student. So 15 years ago, I would have never thought that I would be studying information science, so let alone being a librarian. And 15 years ago was also the year where I completed my grade 12. So if you want to figure out my age, you can do that. So there are many reasons why people end up in the profession. So when I saw the theme of that symposium, as I said, unleashing the knowledge within, I found it so fitting to do the research on experiences of people that are studying or entering the profession. And as you said, I am a final student at University of South Africa, which is UNISA, and I'm studying information sciences. Could you please move to the next stage? So the overview of this presentation, it is going to be introduction, the purpose of the study, the research methodology that I used, and I will also give a discussion of this presentation. And I'll give recommendations and conclusion when I'm done, and I will then take your questions afterwards. Thank you. Another slide. So research shows that unemployment rate in South Africa in young people is 34.69, and 94% of those people do not have tertiary education. So according to a study that was done by Ngudu and Galawa that was released this year, they found that 94% of the people that are not that are unemployed actually do not have the tertiary qualification. So it is not surprising that young people seek employment because of socio-economic factors. In a study that was done by Lopio in 2022, she states that the need to work may be linked to parents' limited means to provide financial support for their children, suggesting that while studying and working is linked to financial demands. While studying is getting the experiences of staff members in undergraduate student, it is also important to understand why students are entering the profession of the information science and why they choose to continue to pursue their studies. In a study that was done by Dube, Onyasha, and Makobela in 2014, where they were profiling the geographies of students at the Department of Information Science at UNISA, they found that most students pursuing the bachelor's degree are between the ages of 30 and 39. And they also state that mostly they are working with no qualification, hence they seek to gain a qualification in the field. Another interesting factor that I found in this study, it highlights that these people, although the library science or information science was not the profession of their first choice, they had no choice but to embrace it. So I found it interesting that I focus on my research on this. Firstly, being a student myself, I also wanted to document the experiences of colleagues, but also to give an overview or maybe an experience to other colleagues, to land managers, to executive, of an idea of what it is to be studying while working. Thank you. Another slide. So the purpose of this study is to properly determine the effects of studying while working and also to define the challenges faced by working students and document their experiences of undergraduate employees. Another slide. Okay, so the research methodology that I use, it is qualitative research approach. And this is because I just wanted to get the phenomenon, not really to quantify the research. So the data collection was face-to-face interviews. One was in over the email. So we had a briefing over the telephone, and then then they sent the responses via the email. Another slide. So these were the respondents of the research that I did. It was 5 staff members that are doing their undergraduate student studies in information science at the University of Free State. They are between the ages of 30 and 40-year-olds, which supports what the study that was done. So one of them is a male and 3 of them is a caregiver. So not a caregiver to plants and dogs, but to actual children. And 2 of them are primary caregivers, meaning that they are the ones staying full time with their children. So these are the themes that I explored while I was doing the research: time management, career advancement, support, challenges, absenteeism, and financial problems. So when I asked why were they studying information science, the respondent mentioned that the career advancement was their main goal, to get qualified in the profession so they can have better opportunities or they can then climb the ladder. One mentions, I quote, "I am starting to advance my career. I'm also starting to get a greater knowledge in the field of information science. Another one mentioned that they were studying archives and records management, and they decided to continue because of that. Another thing that I found so interesting is that no one was really driving them or pushing them to study, but they were doing it because they wanted to. So it was like sort of like a self-actualization to reach that goal. Another slide. So there are many challenges that are faced by students that are working. I want to note that some started during the pandemic or right before the pandemic. So they may mention that they were experiencing drastic life changes. So this can be death in the family or something that happened in the family that really hit them so hard. And some mentioned that they just could not cope, and also having to balance their work and study. So they had workload, and by the time they get home, they are so tired that they can't even study or do their assignment. Some mentioned that things have changed when they started studying. So either they gotten promoted or their responsibility had gotten more, so they could not really keep up with their studies. And all the challenges mentioned were similar to a research that was done by Lopio in 2022 in a paper, Working While Studying: The Academic Challenges of Working Scholars. She states that students perceive their job as demanding of their time. They also perceive it to interfere with the university's work, including leaving them more tired. Now, moving to time management. What I also noted that the respondent did not have a daily schedule to tackle their work. I want to quote one of them. He says, at one point, at this point, it is non-existing. Ideally, it would be from 9 p.m. until 12. Another one would say, I will only start to pay attention to studies when there is an assignment due. Once I have submitted, I will not even go back to the content to look at it. Now, looking at support. Interestingly, they all mentioned that they were getting support from their line managers and colleagues, especially when the module content they need clarification with. So they would go to whoever colleague and then they would ask and they would get support from them. I know we are always at the cataloging and they don't want to be disturbed, but those are the people that we normally go to. They also mentioned that they were not part of any study groups. So even though they are studying information science together, even though there might be some who are on the same level of studying, they did not find a need to form a study group with their peers that are studying that are studying information sciences. But also, even outside the groups that are offered within the university, they just did not find the need to be part of those groups, which also might be a form of a support, but I will get to it later on. Now, moving to absenteeism. So all the respondents admitted to being absent from work because they had an assignment due or they had to catch up with their schoolwork. They said to me they had to take leave. So I believe that they had to take leave for that. And which also for me is concerning because instead of resting, which is sometimes the purpose of leave, they would be doing a catch up on their studies instead of resting. Now, going to completing their studies, I just want to give a context with studying information science with UNISA is that you can complete your studies in 3 years. 4 out of 5 admitted that they will not be completing in time. And I just want to say one respondent is a first year. So hopefully she will be completing in 3 years, as she actually has said. But also, they have admitted to have failed 1 or 2 modules or having to rewrite 1 or 2 modules. This also adds to their financial stress as they have to continue to pay for themselves for whatever module they have failed because they in the university will not pay for whatever module that you are repeating. So now moving to my findings. What I found is that they want to develop themselves within the profession and progress. And the biggest challenge was time management and having to balance their workload, personal challenges, and their studies. They also have a better understanding of what it is like to study while working, and therefore they are in a position to give advice to those that would want to pursue their studies. And this is what I recommend. So I recommend that they can form study groups. This can assist in supporting as a supporting tool to understand the content better, but also to serve as a motivation, because sometimes when you are going through something alone, you're thinking you are the only one experiencing that. And as I would like to quote, no man is an island. I would also like to recommend a committee of mentors to serve as the UFS LIS or any organization as a support structure dedicated to undergraduate students pursuing information science. This can be in form of hosting workshops on time management to assist with content, or having writing retreats so that they can be able to catch up on their assignment and submit their assignments on time. The student can make use of the organization supporting services like counseling or psychologist if they feel overwhelmed. I know at UFS there's a health and wellness HR department that provides that assistance. And they can also develop an organized plan or in the beginning of the year on how they're planning to tackle their studies. And then in conclusion, so time management plays a crucial role for employees that are studying. A supportive working environment is also an important aspect. Study groups and networking with other students can serve as an assisting tool, and the employees studying can seek assistance with their studies in the profession, or they can seek assistance, as I said, with health and wellness, so they can also stay motivated to finish their studies. And it is also part of their self-care, so they are able to finish their studies and progress in their career, as they said. I would like to thank you very much for paying attention on these, or these are my references that I used. And I would like to thank you very much for paying attention to this presentation. And I am prepared to take any questions that you might have. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kolelwa. I want to give thanks to my two guests who honored our invite. Thank you for a very insightful information that you shared with us, and I hope it will, and it is helping us big time. And then on that note, I just want to allow questions, in which case we have one or two or three. And then for those who cannot speak, you can write them on the chat box. Then we will relate them. Maybe Erna, you can notify me about the chat box questions if there is any. And then I just want to give the floor or the house the opportunity to raise some questions to my two guests. Thank you very much. Oh, you don't have a question from anybody. And then on the chat box, do we have anything? Let me see. Let me see. There's nothing as well on the chat box. Colleagues, can we move on to item number 8 in the absence of questions? Can I just see by a thumbs up? Okay, there is no question. Let's come to item number 8. Erna, can you tell us when is the next meeting?
The next meeting will then be next year, like we planned for the 19th of March during the Library Week celebrations for our branch. So it will be on the 19th of March so far. But we will keep them, all of you, updated of if there are any changes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Colleagues, on that note, I just want to declare this meeting officially closed. And thank you for your time and for everything which assisted us to make this meeting, a cut above the rest. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.